Here is the merit training. So the merit planning process for FY15. So first off, our compensation philosophy. So City of Hope provides a market competitive compensation program as a part of the total rewards package to attract, retain, and motivate exceptional talent. So basically our compensation program is designed to pay competitively compared to industry peers and the general market. We participate in around 33 surveys a year to make sure we're meeting market. We like to continue pay performance culture. We also provide tools to make appropriate compensation decision making, and also to make sure our processes and programs are transparent and easy to understand and as well as administer. And this will help us maintain internal equity, fairness, and compliance. So next off is assigning compensation delegates. So our merit planning tool is assigned to compensation delegates. Compensation delegates are those who will be entering merit increases in the tool and usually have 3 or more reports. Compensation delegates who have 2 or less reports are generally rolled up to the next level manager. And this varies by department and area. It all depends on philosophy and roll-up. So in this example, you can see here, Mary Doe has 1 report. So Sally Doe will be the compensation delegate for newbie Doe, who reports up to Mary. So Mary will be communicating to Sally the increase she would like to assign and grant newbie Doe during this process. Next is our FY15 merit matrix. So our merit pool has been set at 2.5% of payroll this year. Similar to last year, we have our unsatisfactory performer performance rating will receive an overall score between 1.0 and 1.5, and they could get a merit increase of 0. Solid performer is an overall score rating of 1.6 to 2.5, and the merit increase range is 1.5% to 2.5%. The excellent performer performance rating is an overall score of 2.6 to 3 score, and the increase for them would be anywhere between 2.5% and 5%. The promotion category and new hire category is similar to what we had last year. So unsatisfactory new hire and or promoted performer could receive a merit increase of 0%, and solid new hire and or promoted performer could receive a merit increase anywhere between 1.5 and 2.5%. Promoted employees are any employees who are promoted between April 1st of 2015 all the way through September 30th, 2015, and new hires would be in this group are employees hired between April 1st of 2015 and July 1st, 2015. Up next is our PDRP timeline. So our FY15 overall PDRP timeline. You probably have seen this performance timeline before. It goes over the steps we have already completed, and the step we're currently in process is the calibration. So reviews are currently on hold or in a holding status right now during calibration. You're probably having sessions. After this calibration period, they will be released, performance reviews will be released to managers on 12/15, and that will automatically be queued in the manager's tasks. During this time, the merits timeline also kicks in during calibration. So it started last Thursday, November 5th, and compensation delegates could go into PDRP and go into the planning tool and allocate increases as of November 5th all the way to the Thanksgiving holiday week. And the deadline for entering increases for COM delegates is the 24th of this month, so the 24th of November. After that, it kicks over to executive approvals, which would start November 25th through December 12th. Some key dates to keep in mind are the new hire performance and merit eligibility, so hire date on or before July 1st, 2015. The merit will be effective January 10th of 2016, and the pay changes will be reflected on employees' paychecks as of January 29th, 2016. A key date to keep in mind, our merit statements will become available on December 15th, but that is contingent upon final approval of the executive approvals. So if you go in and approve everything, statements will be made available December 15th. However, if things are delayed, that won't happen until the day after everything has been approved. So for whatever reason, this timeline does get extended till after December 14th. I believe last year it was extended just a few days. That will push back the deadline for the merit statements. Something that's very important is manager sign-off must occur prior to employee sign-off. And if manager reviews are not complete, you will not be able to allocate any merit, which is very important. So make sure those manager reviews are completed. If you do know you have some manager reviews that are incomplete, it is recommended that you hold off on allocating merit or hold off submitting your increases until you have everything done. You're able to go in there now and allocate merit for those you have completed, but if you have some still pending that you know you can't, that you're waiting on some items, hold off on submitting. You're able to save your draft. The next slide is our PDRP process flow. So this is our process flow for the tool. So compensation delegates, usually the manager will be assigning merit. After they have assigned merit, they can go ahead and submit it, and the executive approver will get an email notifying them that the compensation delegate has submitted increases. The executive approver will review the employees in their roll-up and decide if changes are needed. If changes are needed, they'll go ahead and deny your submission, and then an email will notify the comp delegate of the executive approver's decision. Hopefully there'll be some comments in there for you, or discussion has been made, so you could go in there and make the changes necessary. And then the process starts all over again. Once you make those changes necessary, it'll kick back to the executive approver, and the executive approver could review everything and the entire roll-up. And if no changes are needed, the executive approver will finalize merit for everyone in the roll-up. Does anyone have any questions related to this? If so, you could type those questions into the little chat box. There is audio. Can you hear me? Okay, so we do have a few questions. So the question is, at what step do you actually sit down with employees to give the review face-to-face? That step, from my understanding, doesn't happen until after the process has been completed, once merit has been allocated, and the performance review scores are officially locked down. I believe that would happen between December 15th and later. The December 15th date is a little tentative to make sure all the submissions have been approved. The reason why you want to wait is if for whatever reason there's any changes or pay changes, you want to make sure you're communicating the correct increase to employees when you actually do sit down with them and have that meeting face-to-face. So this next question is actually a performance question. It's so similar to last year's. Once managers signed off, the employee would receive a notice. The question is it the same as this year? That is the same. So once you sign off, the employee will be notified that you have signed off and can go in and review their performance evaluation. But you won't be able to sign off until December 15th. And it is also recommended that you talk to the employees before you sign off. So even though you are able to sign off on December 15th, have the conversation with your employees first and then go ahead and sign off, so you could avoid signing off and then seeing it before you had that conversation with them. Yes, we can also give you guys a copy of this presentation. It'll also be available online through PDRP. We have some vignettes available for you when you go through into the merit tool. Once you sign in, you'll see a little video that you're able to view that has some of these things over that we're reviewing. Also have an executive approver video. If you are an executive approver, I kind of want to see what it looks like on your end. Right now, we're kind of just going over the comp delegates view. Okay, and our last question is, so if you give their performance eval and their comp at the same time, yes, you can give their performance evaluation and their comp at the same time. That's why we designed this tool like this, and also our timeline, so it could flow consistently and be convenient for you guys. If you would like to do them separately, you may do so, but that is completely up to you. Moving on, we'll go on to the PDRP merit planning tool. So once you go into the merit planning tool, this is a welcome page, as you may have seen when you go into your performance reviews. You will see in the blue box under your assigned task, 2015 merit planning tool. you go ahead and click on that link or click on the compensation button on this welcome page to take you into your task. So the tool this year has a little bit new user interface. So the look and feel is similar, but it's slightly different. Hopefully it's new and improved, and you guys will like the layout. So on this, once you're in the tool, this is the page you will see. So 2015 Merit Planning Tool, you could see your name and your business title. We want to make sure you are on the correct tab titled Compensation Plans. That is very important. If you're a mid-level manager, you may have multiple tabs there, and you may actually have to click on the Compensation Plans tab in order to go into your tool. This is a little video that you could view once you're in the tool to get a refresher, to go over anything we went during this training. Once you are ready, you could go ahead and click on Create Plan to enter the tool. Something I want to point out is at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a little box there that says Version, Last Started Date, Status, and Options. That's the section where you will be able to view any drafts you have submitted or saved, and as well as your submission. Once you submit, a copy of submission will be displayed here, so you could come back and view it later. If you made drafts, this is where you'll be going to. So instead of creating a new plan and starting all over, you just go ahead and select under the Options menu to go back into what you have already started. Okay, so once you're in the tool, you'll be in this little task. A few things before we go into the highlighted boxes is the columns. So you'll have employee name, job title, manager name, performance rating, performance description, current hourly rate, merit increase, new hourly rate, and lump sum. Keep in mind, any of these columns you are able to sort by just by clicking on the column heading. So if you're a compensation delegate who actually has a lot of people in your roll-up, and you just want to make sure all your employees are there that you need to allocate merit to, you could sort by manager name, so it's easier view for you, or you could just go ahead and sort it by name. To enter merit increases, you want to go ahead and click on the merit increase column, and you want to fill out those boxes. You have a choice to enter the actual dollar increase amount or the percentage. If you do enter the dollar increase amount, you may have to do some calculations there on your end, but if you just enter the increase percentage, that's maybe a little bit easier for you, and then it'll calculate it automatically. We would like to keep in mind that the system automatically defaults the guideline, defaults the increase based on the average of the guideline. So that number is editable and can be adjusted. So if you go in there and you see all your employees have already increases allocated to them, that's just the default. You're able to change that as you please. If you would like to expand the view or provide comments, you would click on the little drop-down menu next to the employee's name and select More Info. If you select More Info, you'll see all the additional information. There's organizational data, salary data, and additional information such as standard hours. Here you'll be able to provide comments as well. A dialog box will open. You provide comments on John Doe, if you please. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see the budget summary. That little toolbar, that green toolbar there, updates dynamically. So as you're entering increases, as you're changing amounts, you could see where you fall in your overall budget. Some things we would like to note is if you have not submitted the manager review and the manager review step is incomplete, the performance description will state performance task incomplete, and you'll see it where this little orangish yellow box is displaying. If you see performance task incomplete, the rating will be 0, and you actually cannot allocate any merit. So you'll see merit increase will be 0%, and you won't be able to change that. You'll actually have to go into the employee's actual review, complete the manager review step, and then this will be populated. We like to note that if you do change it, we update this section every day, so it could take up to 24 hours to view it. So if you're in there today, you really haven't completed employee's performance review or manager review step, you go in and complete it, and then right away, right after, you go into your tool to go ahead and allocate merit, you will still see performance task incomplete. That gets updated every day in the morning. However, if there's a rush and or if you are in the system and you need it to be shown, go ahead and contact us. You can either call us or email us. If you can email us at pdrp@coh.org, and we'll make sure to update that for you sooner than the 24-hour period if needed. So once increases have been entered, you can go ahead and save draft to come back later, or click next to review it before submitting. Okay, so note again, managers must complete performance reviews for employees on LOA in order to allocate merit. This step is new this year. Last year we had LOAs done on a separate task. This year they are included within the same task. So you need to make sure to allocate merit. We want to make sure we capture them. If they're not allocated, they will get nothing for merit. And you may have to contact your HRSP if that is something you want to do or something that you don't want to do. This is why it's important that you need to make sure performance step review is complete, because you are actually able to allocate 0% for employees. So you are able to submit your tool even though 0% is entered. It could have been on accident or it could have been done on purpose. The system can't differentiate between the two. So please make sure you allocate merit for employees because you won't be able to come back and do it later. Okay, so once you hit next, you'll come to the summary tab. The summary tab has a similar look and feel as you did in the merit planning tab. There'll be in this screen the same little comment box that you're able to enter per employee by their name on the drop-down menu. But in addition to that, you have an additional comment section at the bottom of your screen. It's highlighted in a yellowish orange that you're able to provide for your overall tool. So let's say you want to put in here something for your executive approver that you would just like to know or point out. Maybe your team is amazing, or just point out maybe there's some reasons and justifications why you're wanting to allocate certain increases. You're able to do that here, and all your comments will be visible to your executive approver. So at this stage, again, you may save as draft to return to later, or hit submit. Once submitted, your executive approver will be notified by the system so they can go and approve and deny your submission. Okay, do we have any questions? If so, please enter it in the little chat box and we'll try to get to them. Okay, we have no questions. Hopefully that's a good thing. Moving on, our key dates. So compensation delegates completes merit planning tool in PDRP as of November 5th to November 24th. After that, it does move over to the executive approvals, which start on the 25th, so November 25th through December 14th. Some merit statements are available December 15th. But keep in mind that is contingent upon completion of the executive approval. So if things get a little delayed, whether it's on your end or the executive approver's end, that could delay the overall merit statements that are being available. I don't know how often you guys use the merit statements, but if you aren't using them, this may be something you want to take a look at. It is a very handy supplemental piece of paper and or documentation for yourself and for your employees. It provides their name, their title, their current hourly rate, their performance rating, the percentage increase that they're being allocated to them, and their new hourly rate all on one page. It's very easy to read. They could see when it's effective, when they'll see it on their paycheck. It's just a handy tool for yourself and for your employees to utilize. Merit increases, again, are effective January 10th, 2016, and the first paycheck will reflect these merit increases on the 29th of January 2016. This merit planning tool was made available on November 5th. Emails went out to all comp delegates on the 5th. If you do not receive an email, please contact your leader or next level manager to see if it's rolled up. If not, feel free to contact us. We'll let you know maybe if you were missed or where your employees went to, but usually it's with your next level manager. So connect with them first, making sure they have the tab. Something else that's also just a little nifty and to be proactive is if you are a comp delegate, go into your tool, just take a look. You don't have to save anything. You don't have to make any changes. Just get the look and feel of it now. Make sure you can access it. Try it so we can try to get any of the bugs out now instead of towards the end when it's close to the deadline, and it would save a lot of people from panicking later on, and also to make sure you have all your employees in your roll-up. Let's say you're missing someone that you think should be in there. We could clarify everything now, whether if they should be in there or the reason why they're not in there. Everything could be cleared up and clarified at the beginning. And that is everything. Is there any additional questions or anything else we can answer for you guys? Something to go over? Let me know. I'll give you guys a few minutes